I want you to imagine something. Picture an old man right at the very end of his life, and he's gathered his 12 powerful sons around his bed. But he isn't just saying goodbye. No, he's about to look deep into the soul of each and every one of them and speak their future into existence. This is the incredible story of Jacob's final, epic prophecy, a single moment that would go on to shape a nation forever.
Okay, let's dive right in. Just look at the fates of these two brothers. Over on the left, you've got Reuben, the firstborn, who's told he's going to lose his leadership role. But then on the right, Judah, the fourth son, is promised a crown and a whole royal dynasty. How does that happen? Same father, same family, but two completely different destinies.
Well, this is so much more than just family drama. What Jacob says here is actually a deep look into how our character, our actions, and our choices all come together to create our destiny. These final blessings, they really reveal the heart of each son and what that's going to mean for all their descendants down the line.
So to really understand this incredible chapter, here's our plan. First, we'll witness Jacob as he gathers his sons. Then we'll hear the tough consequences for the firstborns. After that, we'll see the amazing rise of Judah's royal line, watch the futures of the other tribes unfold, and finally, we'll feel the power of the blessings for the two youngest sons.
Okay, let's go back to that room. Try to picture it. It's quiet, it's emotional. Jacob's eyes might be dim from his old age, but you just know they are sharp with spiritual sight. And his 12 sons, the men who would become the founders of the 12 tribes of Israel, are all leaning in close. They're about to hear his final words, words that are going to echo through all of history.
Jacob starts with his eldest, Reuben. He says, "Reuben, you're my first, you have strength," but then he calls him unstable as water. He's talking about a big mistake Reuben made in the past, and because of that mistake, he loses the honor of being the firstborn. Then Jacob turns to Simeon and Levi, and he says their swords are weapons of violence. He's remembering a time they acted out of terrible anger, and he declares that their tribes will be scattered among the others, without a land of their own.
So you see, these aren't just random predictions from a fortune cookie. Jacob is a wise father who truly understands the core nature, the very character of his children. He knows that Reuben's instability and Simeon and Levi's anger, if they don't deal with it, will define their entire legacy. It's this huge idea. Character is destiny. This chart really lays it out, plain and simple. You can see that clear connection. For these first three sons, their past actions have direct consequences for the future. It's such a powerful lesson for us, right? What we do really matters, and our choices can create ripples for generations to come. But then, everything changes. After talking to his first three sons, Jacob turns to his fourth son, Judah. And suddenly, you can just feel the whole atmosphere in the room shift. It fills up with this incredible sense of hope and power. The prophecy for Judah just builds and builds. First, Jacob says that Judah will be a leader that his brothers actually praise and look up to. Then he calls him a lion's cub. What a powerful image of royalty and unstoppable strength. And then comes the ultimate promise, that the right to rule, the king's scepter, will belong to Judah's family until a future peaceful ruler, someone called Shiloh, arrives.
And this is, without a doubt, a game-changing moment in the entire biblical story. Because Judah had shown good character in the past, he was the one who was willing to step up and take responsibility. His tribe is given the destiny of leadership. Think about it. King David, King Solomon, all the great kings of Judah would come from this exact line.
Jacob then goes through his other sons, one by one, and it's like he's painting a picture of the amazing, diverse nation they're all going to become together. Zebulun's people will be sailors and traders. Issachar's will be strong and hardworking. Dan will be known for being clever and strategic. Gad will bring warriors. Asher will provide rich food. And Naphtali, they'll be known for their beautiful, eloquent words. Each one has a totally unique and important role to play. And now, Jacob turns to his beloved son, Joseph. And you can just feel the shift in the room. For Joseph, Jacob saves the longest, the most emotional, and the most abundant blessing of all. The words just pour out of him, filled with so much love for the son who had suffered so much, and yet ended up saving them all.
Jacob remembers every single thing Joseph went through. He calls his brothers the archers who attacked him. He remembers how he was sold into slavery, how he was thrown into prison for something he didn't do. And yet, through all of that, Joseph's faith in God, which Jacob calls his bow, it never broke. His strength came from God. And because Joseph endured all that, Jacob promises him blessings of every kind you could possibly imagine. Blessings from the sky like rain and sun. Blessings from the earth beneath for good crops. Blessings for a huge and healthy family. It is a promise of complete, total, overflowing abundance, all because of his faithfulness.
At last, Jacob comes to his youngest son, Benjamin, the other son of his beloved wife Rachel. And after this one final prophecy, he gives all of his sons one last crucial command.
So first, he blesses Benjamin as a fierce warrior, a ravenous wolf. Then, after he has spoken destiny over all 12 of his sons, his thoughts turn to his own legacy. He makes every single one of them promise to bury him not in Egypt, but back in the Promised Land, in the very same cave as Abraham and Sarah. This was his final act of faith in God's great promise.
You know, this whole chapter really shows us the incredible power of our words. Jacob's words weren't just descriptions of his sons, they were like creative forces that helped shape their futures. And this gives us a really powerful lesson that we can use to improve our own character, our own inner dimensions.
So, here's your challenge for this week. I want you to really think about the power that your words have. Instead of criticizing or tearing someone down, use your words to build them up. Find someone in your family or a good friend and speak an encouraging prophecy over them. Tell them about the good things you see in them and the great things you know they can accomplish. Let's use our words to help shape a better future for someone else.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.